Hey everybody. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look at Timeline. It's a tool from Knightlabs. And so we're gonna be creating this really awesome, handsome looking timeline tool. And so the address to get to their site is timeline.knightlab.com. So it's going to look something like this. If you can see women in computing, right? You have this event. So when it's all done, it's going to look like this, where people are going to see different events of women in computing. You can see this. So whatever your topic is that you're making on your final, right, you can add in different types of media. You can see this is a Vimeo. You saw the last back here that was a SoundCloud, or Wikipedia page, right? So it could be really any kind of links, right? So Vimeo, picture, right? Some kind of video again. So there's all kinds of stuff. You can try to pull material from all kinds of places, look like a YouTube video. So really you guys can pull information from all kinds of different places. That's going to help you. All right. So obviously there's all kinds of things they give you, right? Tips and tricks. Keep it short. Recommend not having more than 20 slides, right? That sounds right. Pick stories that have a strong chronological narrative, right? So you guys are going to follow your specific information, right? Each event as a part of a larger narrative, right? Include events that build up to major occurrences, right? So just follow your themes that you guys have been assigned. All right, so if we go down here, make a timeline, this is where we're getting to the technical stuff. So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to create a spreadsheet. So really at the end of the day, this is all done through Google Spreadsheet. All right, so we're going to click over there, and I'm going to show you how this works. Ultimately, for the final, right, you're going to turn in this spreadsheet. So it says make a copy, right? So yes, I'm going to make a copy. All right, and so the first thing I'm going to do, here's the copy that I've made. It goes to my Google Drive. I'm going to change the title, and I want to make sure that it says my name, Keck, or whatever your last name is, and make sure you put the class. So is it AP World History or whatever it is? I don't know. So those are the things you want to make sure that you handle. So go ahead and do that, okay? And then we'll roll from there. Maybe even actually, let me add this. Keck, AP World History, then we're going to go like topic 1.2 or whatever your topic is. There you go. All right. So this is the spreadsheet. This is the thing you're going to be turning in for option 1 for your final. And so let's go ahead and go through it. All right, so the first one, which is number 2 here, it's the blue bar. This is going to be the title page, okay? So the question is going to be, what is my header? All right, what's the main title of my thing, right? So I don't know. It's going to be something like topic 1.2 or whatever it is. 1.2 here. I have no idea what that one is. Just off the top of my head. I know it's not this, but I'm going to do medieval knights or something. Medieval Europe. I will say that. Okay. All right. Now, for that then, timeline. Right. Let's make sure we're saying that. So, the text is the description of the topic. Now, you can pull this from Canvas. You could pull this from one of the readings. It's a summary essentially of what the topic is about. AP has a nice summary about it. If you're going to quote, make sure you just quote. So if you're going to pull AP's description of that topic, that's fine, right? You can see it on Canvas. Just make sure you put quotes around it and say what it is, or just summarize it in your own words. So go ahead and do that. Media, that's the image that's going to govern this topic, right? So this is where you're going to end up putting in an image for your topic as a whole, right? So I might Google this and I might say, I don't know, medieval Europe. If I can spell, Europe. Okay, there we go. So I want to click images, right? Now, one little tip is if you go to settings, rather tools, and you see the size, you want to click on large. That'll give you large images, not small images, right? And so now I can kind of go through and I can see the size. That's 1200 pixels, 2000 pixels, 1200 pixels, 1900 pixels, and so forth, right? So obviously bigger the better sometimes. All right. So in terms of like choosing media, you want to pick things always that are original more than things that are recreated, right? So, for example, I like of the ones that I've seen, and it's like, look, this is an original picture, right? It was drawn by the people of the time. That's way more important and way better than finding some kind of like artist rendition of it, right? Like this, or some kind of like epic video game looking kind of picture or something. Yeah, that's cool, but it doesn't really give us a vibe of the actual time period or the people or whatever else, right? So let's just imagine that this is the picture that I want to use. Now, the thing is, to get a link, I need to get a link to this actual image. I can't just use this link here right now. All right, and if I click on this, it's going to actually go to the website, Foundation for Economics. I need to find the web page that this is at. So the trick is actually on the image, right-click, all right, and you're going to see copy image address. So that's going to actually give me the internet address for this specific image. Now to test this, we're going to hit the side button here. We'll paste that in and see what's up. All right, there we go. See, this is the image itself online. It's just the image by itself isolated. That's what we need, right? So let's go back to the timeline, to our timeline here. So let's swap out this photo. There you go. Bam. All right, and then there is the image. All right. Now we also want to give credit, right? So who owns this photo? Now this is an original medieval photo. So guess what? I don't need to give credit, right? Because this is an actual medieval image, right? But if I really want to go for it, I could obviously say where it comes from, okay? But it's not. Now, if you don't want to deal with copyright too, if you notice under this, you can say usage rights, and you can say labeled for reuse, right? Labeled for non-commercial reuse. There you go, boom. Right, and so there you go. In any case, there's stuff there, but we're not really stealing it; we're using it. Here's your discretion on what you guys want to do. I'll take a look with you. All right, so there you go. Right, so you might want to swap that out or change it or whatever you want. That's the title page, right? Now, each one of these events going down, this is going to be the timeline itself, right? So you could see 2011, 2011. Now, obviously, that's not going to be the timeline, right? So we're going to say something like, 1200, all right? And then this one's going to be like 1250, and this one's going to be like 1300, and 13. Hey everybody, we had a little bit of a glitch there, but so I was saying 1354. So obviously those are the events that are going down on the timeline. Now you can put in months if you know what they are, or if it's a singular moment. You use the precise dates that you have as far as you can find. And if there's an end date, obviously, then add that in. Or if it's a single moment, if it's a thing that lasts a year, 2 years, 5 years, right? Go ahead and fill that out, right? So obviously build out the years and stuff that you're going to be talking about. Now, headline, right? Just like we saw with the topic here, each one of these events, you're going to put a header, right? So let's say in 1200 it is a First Crusade, right? And so I'd talk about that, right? And also Battle of Jerusalem, 1250, whatever they are, all right? So you'd fill out those things relevant to what you're supposed to be talking about. So then the text is the information that's going to be going about that, right? So some kind of brief narrative about what that thing is, and make sure that it's relevant to your topic and the objective stated, right? So that essential knowledge and the objective stuff from your topic on your page, right? So you also pick out media, right? So I already talked to you about how to get an image from Google, right, and isolate that URL. You can also get like YouTube videos, Vimeo, stuff like that. Flickr's another great one, right? So I'm already searched this one out, but so I went and I just searched like a medieval knight. Obviously, you want something like this, not so. This is like a reenactment or something, which is authentic, right? But this is terrible, right? That's like a video game kind of thing. Don't do fake stuff, right? Don't look for fake stuff. If you're gonna do something real. Either it's art real or like reenactment, like real materials and stuff like this, right? But make sure it's relevant to what you're doing, right? So, in terms of like still pictures and stuff. So, anyways, I pulled this, right, and this picture is just isolated, it's Flickr, right? So, I just grabbed the URL here, right, just like I did there. Then I went back to my spreadsheet and I went ahead and pasted right there. All right, and this is where you would put in the media credit if there is some, right? So in this case there is, right? So you'd go, because it's not an original, right? It's not an original medieval artwork, right? So it's not in the public. This is a photographer, right? Who took a picture of this, so it's his property, right? So we want to give credit to PG Tips 2. All right, we want to make sure, or whatever his name is, if you want to find his real name. And he calls it Battle of Hastings 1066, right? So you'd want to give credit to the artist, right? They're the one that's the photographer and stuff. All right, and then obviously you'd give some kind of caption on the image or the event. This was the caption for the image. This is the caption for the event. This is way more important. Though this might make some sense. So here maybe I might say, Battle of Hastings reenactment or something like that. Some context for it, okay? So don't worry about that last part here. That's for the code stuff. So that's pretty much it. You're going to build out all your events, right? And it's really not that difficult. It's just some research and putting in some timeline stuff, finding some media that would attach to it, and explaining your narrative here. Obviously, after you're done with this, you're going to share with me, right? So hit share, and you're going to want to make sure that you move it to anyone with the link can view, right? And you're going to give me this link. So you're going to end up sharing this with me on the final day. I'm probably going to set up a spreadsheet that you can paste in your links, and so that I can quickly and easily grade, or maybe I'll have something in Canvas that you can kind of submit your links to me and stuff, so I can get them quickly. So we'll do it that way. But yeah, you're going to give me those links. All right. Now, just so you can see what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit File, and I'm going to hit Publish to Web. I'm going to make sure that that's turned on, which I had already done for this one. And then I'm going to grab the link up here at the top for the spreadsheet itself. I'm going to go back to the timeline tool from Knightlabs, right? And they have this option here where you paste in the Google Doc, right? So bam, there it is, the Google spreadsheet. And then it changes this code, right? And this code actually is going to be in, if your timeline's really good, I'm going to actually end up putting it into Canvas for next year for the kids, right? So you're helping out next year. You've become teachers, right? So anyways, I'm going to show you this. So open in next window, and so here's our timeline. Bam! Look how good this looks, right? The code stuff is really taking care of it for us, right? So you can see here that's the picture we picked, the topic timeline, right? Your narrative here, and we're going to see your different media things. So the First Crusade event, right? Right, so don't be afraid to fill out the right dates and fill out explaining what it is, right? Think about like what you would want as a student. If you were coming to topic 1.2 or 1.6 for the first time, how helpful would a timeline like this be for you, right? What kind of information on it would be helpful, right? The whole point of this activity is to one, for you to show your learning in your topic, right? And then two, to share that learning with others by becoming teachers through creating a teaching tool. So it's going to benefit you. It's going to benefit others. So this is where you're going to get to show off. You're going to get to flex your learning, right, as you put all this together. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with. I know you guys are going to do great. I believe in what you're capable of. So let me know if there's anything you need, anything extra, any support or whatever. So good luck and happy researching.